Hey, my name is Devin Townsend, and I am here on behalf of Laney Amplification to talk about a product that I was involved in the design of to some degree that is a game changer as far as I'm concerned. In my mind, I've always thought that the first company that made it to the end of the full-range 412 guitar cabinet race would win the gold prize. And so when Laney came up to me and said that they were working on powered full-range cabinets that had cabinet IR simulation as well as a host of other features so that you can have your digital modeler come through 412 raging guitar cabs, kind of like it used to be when we were growing up with like a full stack. It's amazing. Let me tell you how I use this product. So I use it in 4 different ways at this point. I'm writing 4 different records, and this next year and a half is spent just writing. My gear, my sound, my tone, completely dialed in. So if I was going to run completely full range, just digital all the way, how I would do it and how I do it is with the fractal foot pedal, the FM9. It's an amazing piece of gear. But this, what I'm explaining, goes for any piece of digital modeling gear. And so for this instance, I'd be using the Fractal FM9, and I send 2 paths. One is a dry guitar sound that goes to the 2 412s. I mean, I can't tell you how crushing this gets. And then I run a secondary pathway that's 100% effects into the 2 112 cabinets on top. And with that, I get an absolutely ridiculous sound. Another way I would run just a modeler is when I do ambient music. So for the ambient work, I use the Line 6 Helix, which is another modeler, and it's a great ambient sound for me. It's just really a fun unit. It's really tactile, and it was designed by musicians, and it's fantastic for my ambient work. And then I run straight into these 2 112 cabs, and it's 100% delay and reverb for the ambient work and synths and all of this. And it's just such a clean and elegant and very modern way to make soundscapes. And what's great about these full-range cabs is they can encapsulate a lot of different things. You can either get a very pristine stereo sound, or with the built-in cabinet emulation, you can get the sound of speakers. So let's talk about the controls on this. So they brought me a prototype while I was rehearsing in Manchester, and we went through a couple of things that I thought would be cool. And a couple of things that we agreed on were, for example, you have the option of either full range response from the cabs or 2 built-in IRs. Plus, now you can put your own impulse responses into the cabinet. So what you would do, if you chose to use that, is you run your modeler without any cab simulation direct into these full-range cabs, and you can select a IR for your onstage sound that is perfect for that. But then when you take the direct feed out of the cab, you can put your own IR into that. And so the feed to the front of house can have something that might work better for them, for your front of house person. What I didn't realize I missed about a cab was not only that feeling, but also it's silly. But when I was jamming, I used to love sitting on my cab. And I used to love having a cab that I could put drinks on, or I could, have my notes on it or whatever. I liked having this surface. For me, I love the convenience of modeling technology and the sound. Personally, I think the sound is just whatever you want it to be. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I don't use real amplifiers from time to time, because I love that too. So how does the Laney cabs, these full-range cabs, come into play if you're using a standard amplifier? Well, it's the wet, dry, wet setup, as opposed to using powered wedges. You have these cabinets that are set up so, in this instance, the Fractal as a sort of twofold effects processor. It runs pre-effects, so overdrives, maybe a slight delay, wah pedal, chorus, distortion, all the sort of things that you would hit prior to the preamp. I run that in a channel that takes a direct feed to the input of an amplifier, in this case, this awesome KSR Orion amplifier. But then I run a second path that's completely wet effects to the two Laney cabs. Or for the project that I'm working on and have done for many years called Casualties of Cool, I do the same thing. And I used to use PA wedges, or I'd use an acoustic guitar amplifier for my wet effects. But now what I do is I run my guitar into this Bad Cat amplifier with the Fractal as my pre-effects, with my wah pedal, with my distortions. And then I run a secondary path that's 100% effects with a long analog delay into a long reverb, into a long ping pong delay, and then an EQ to sort of carve out the frequencies. And that goes direct to those Laney cabs. And the 112s are perfect for that because they're about the same size as a combo. And if you notice the lights showing up on these Laney cabs as we go, man, if I've got anything that has been consistent in my love of guitar gear, it's lights. So the fact that they got those LEDs is just a really sexy look as far as I'm concerned. So you can go one of many ways. And for me, I'm just very proud to be working with this technology because I guess it's something I've been waiting for. Check it out. Laney full range guitar cabs. They're awesome.